So we've come to the end of our 2-week training excavation here at Carrowmore, and we found some really great archaeology. We excavated a trench outside of the known monument because there was a series of geophysical anomalies showing up from the geophysical survey that James did a few years ago. So we have 2 plough furrows here, and we assume that they relate to post-medieval or medieval farming practices. We also have quite a bit of 19th and early 20th century pottery and glass coming up along here. So this is the kind of material that people would have thrown in their dung heaps on the farm and then later spread that to manure the soil, and then that gets worked into some of the archaeological layers and into the topsoil through ploughing. What was particularly interesting about that modern pottery and glass is that it stopped at the ditch of the monument, of the prehistoric monument. And that tells us a few things. It tells us that ploughing didn't disturb the interior, and again our excavation hasn't revealed any modern ploughing in there. It also tells us that there may have been kind of superstitions or folklore about the monument, and it may have been seen as inappropriate to plough within a site such as this. There's also the practicality of trying to get a plough through the ditch. That wouldn't have been very feasible. Before we started excavation, very little was known about this monument. It was a recorded archaeological site and it was classified as a barrow. It has a ditch going around it, so you can see the circular outline of the ditch, and then a raised area inside that, and then that dips down into a hollow right in the centre. Our excavations have focused from the centre of the monument running right through the ditch to the outside. We've revealed that the ditch is quite wide but not particularly deep. We have a series of very nice silty deposits, the kind of material that you would expect to find in a ditch, but we don't have any finds at all coming from the ditch apart from a few pieces of struck chert. What's very interesting is that along the eastern side of the ditch we have this dense stone packing turning up. We're not quite sure yet what that indicates. It may be some kind of a revetment, but it's very much focused on this eastern side of the ditch. We move up to the centre of the monument, and here we revealed that a series of natural geological layers and a particular anomaly that might be a geological anomaly, but there's very little going on archaeologically between the ditch and the highest point of the monument. This area here was very interesting. You can see that the centre of the monument is quite raised, and what we have is quite a wide band of stone going all the way around. It may be completely circular, but there's also a suggestion that it's penannular. So penannular meaning not a full circle. So we had a whole series of stones laid out in quite a compact arrangement. Lot of large stones at the upper area, but even further down we have quite significant stones here as well. Now these stones have been brought in from elsewhere, and there's a very deliberate effort to concentrate this and to create this feature, this massive stone circular feature running around the monument. On quite a high level we had this semicircular arrangement of stones. We excavated it from the trench, but you can see it running out there to the south and to the north on either side of the trench. We don't know what that is, but it's doing what all of the other features are doing. It's enclosing or surrounding or defining this central area here. So down towards the centre of the monument we're finding all of these charcoal rich layers, but the geophysical research has indicated that we don't have any in situ burning. So we don't have fires here, we don't have hearths here, but we have soil that's full of the remains of fires and hearths. So lots and lots of charcoal rich deposits in this area. And some of our very nice chert blades came from within these charcoal rich layers. So there's a few things that are very important about this monument. Firstly is that it's located in the centre of this Neolithic ritual complex where we have 40 to 50 Neolithic and later monuments, all very much of a ritual and ceremonial nature. We're right in the centre of the Carrowmore complex, but we're also in the centre of the Coolera Peninsula. If you look to the west, we have Queen Maeve's Cairn, the massive passage tomb on top of Knocknarea looking down on us. And we also have the largest monument, the central passage tomb at Carrowmore Listohol, very close to us here as well. So we came to this site 2 weeks ago thinking that it was a barrow. Now we think that it's actually a different type of monument. It's still prehistoric, everything about it tells us that it's prehistoric, but we don't quite know what period. We may be able to get some OSL dating done in the next few months that will help tell us a little bit more about the site. But it's been a very exciting 2 weeks. It's been wonderful for our archaeology students at IT Sligo to have this experience and to learn how to be an archaeologist on such an amazing site and in such an incredible archaeological complex. We would hope to come back here next year if we can secure all the appropriate permissions and all the paperwork is in place. And what we would like to do is to further explore this area of the trench and also to extend that trench to the wider area and see what else we can find in this central area. We've been blessed with a great team of archaeology students working with us. I think they've learned quite a bit. They haven't been put off by the terrible Irish weather that we've been having the last 2 weeks. And there's been loads of enthusiasm and enjoyment of the archaeology, and yeah, they've been a great bunch of people to work with. We look forward to working with them again in the future.